Welcome to the Collector Cave, and today we have a review of Final Fantasy VII Sid Highwind from Square Enix Bring Arts. And this is super exciting. This is a figure, we don't have too many of Sids in the wild from across all of FF7 gaming. So to get this figure finally released is awesome. And if you've been following along with either these releases or my review of the first 7 of these figures, you'll notice that this is number 10. So I believe Vincent is 8 and Kate Sith is 9. But I think Kate has been back, it's been pushed back. And Vincent, I know a few people have Vincent, he's coming soon, but for whatever reason, they were able to jump and get Sid out quicker. So there's gonna be a gap there between a few of those figures until they come out. But he is number 10 in this list, and they have a lot more coming. They have some of the Turks coming, they have Zack coming, they have the Hardy Daytona coming, but let's just focus here on Sid and look at this. Now, if you don't know that this is based off the original Final Fantasy VII concept art for the original game back in 1997. So this isn't based off the new games, the remake or rebirth. This is based off the concept art. And I don't remember the concept art for Sid too much, but I'm pretty sure this is exactly what it looked like. They've been pretty good, pretty spot on accurate with the other figures for the concept art. And he looks like he's a bit taller, even though the box is the same size as the majority of them. Same size as Yuffie's box. I just reviewed Yuffie. Here is the Square Enix logo, the hologram, to show that this is not a bootleg, this is a legitimate purchase. It's for ages 15 and up. There's small parts, so a choking hazard warning for ages 3 and under. And then there's the FF logo. And all these Bring Arts FF7 figures have the same packaging, this gray stripe with the white background. And I think it just looks really, really contemporary, really neat looking. There's the side of the box, and here's the back. And you can see, now, while this is a picture from the newer game, the Bronco, this again is based off the original. So just, they're trying to merge old with new, but this is based off the original game. And there's Sid, his staff, and then he comes with some extra hands, and I think an extra head sculpt, I believe, a faceplate. So I believe these have 27 points of articulation based off the website. But anyway, let's get this guy unpackaged and take a closer look. All right, and Sid, like most of these Bring Arts FF figures, comes with directions, how you plug and play, put the hands in there, plug and play, very simple. Actually, he's got 7 hands, it looks like. And then the 2 different face plates, how to change those out. We'll do that. And then there is his weapon, the spear, or the staff. I forget what his weapon's called. And then, yeah, how to put on these gloves. Pretty simple. So here's the back showing the stand, and let's take a closer look at the figure. So here is Sid Highwind. I think he turned out really cool. He looks really great. We'll go into some detail here in a bit. But as you can see, this is all he comes with. This weapon is super long. It's longer than, I think it's longer than Sephiroth's sword, Masamune. We'll double check that. But here's the stand, and all these Bring Arts figures come with the same type of stand. There's a little flight arm there and 2 different clamps. I'm not sure these clamps even work on Sid, to be honest, the way he's designed. You'll have to clamp his leg, I believe, the way he's designed. But we'll try it out. We'll do some poses. And then there's the extra head sculpt, which I'm not a fan of this look as much. We'll still put it on, but I like the one he comes with, which is the concept art one, I believe. And then there's the extra hands that he comes with. He has 7 hands in total, gloved hands, and then there's his weapon with the spear tip at the very end. And then here is the figure. Let me bring him in closer and show some nice detail on this figure. I think he turned out fantastic. Just like the concept art, which is what these are based off of. Will Bring Arts give us a remake, rebirth version of these figures? Perhaps. It's not in the cards right now, though. Look at this jacket, man. I love this. And this jacket is actually like a soft, rubbery plastic. So it can move a little bit. And I think the jacket looks great. There's his badge on the side there. Airport. Yeah, I think it looks really good. His legs are super long, which I think is also part of the design of the figure. He has a very long legs and a short torso, which I think is accurate based off of the original design. So there's something going on. I need to look at the directions because there's something you can plug in right here. And I'm not sure exactly what it is. I have to look at the directions to see. But yeah, let's go over articulation. His head and neck is on a ball joint, so you can get some good look. So he can look down really good. He can look up really good. They did a great job with his head. And then the arms are on these types of joints that Play Arts Kai and Bring Arts does. They're a little different, but in this case, this works well. They're not super tight, but to me, they're buttery smooth. They're not loose, they're not tight, they're buttery smooth, which is what I like in my joints. And the arms do drop down, as you can see. Yuffie, I just reviewed before this figure, her joints were super tight. This is more buttery smooth. Think like maybe like Mafex type is how these joints feel, to me at least. And then there's not a bicep swivel, but the whole shoulder swivels, which is fine. There's no cut there, which looks great. Single jointed elbow gives you 90, and then ball hinge wrist peg, which is great. There is an upper torso, as you can see it's cut, but because of the jacket, you can't get a whole lot. He does crunch forward really good though, look at that. And then crunches back pretty good considering he has this soft rubbery coat on. And then the ball joint in the waist gives you some good motion. Man, I'm really impressed. It's like Bring Arts realized that there was some QC issues. And I think the last 3 figures I've done, they've slowly gotten better and better. So that's a good sign. The legs have not fallen off yet, unlike Cloud's, which is good. They don't go up very far. They go up about maybe 80 degrees, 75 degrees, something like that. Knees are single jointed, and that's how they look. Not too bad, in my opinion. And then a ball hinge or a ball peg ankle, and then toe articulation, as you can see there. So, and there's a thigh cut. There's thigh cuts, so you can rotate his thighs on both sides, as you can see there. And I love his cargo pants. The button is painted silver. There's some nice wash in the pants, a greenish, almost like not a camo, but darker greens, browns, lighter greens, lighter browns. So man, I gotta say, this figure, this may be the most excited I've been for a figure. And he's not my favorite character in the game, but I think the color scheme, the blue jacket, the way this material feels, the scarf, I mean, this just screams super cool. And on this one, as you can see, his eyes are off to the side. They're not looking straight on. And I don't usually like that in figures. But for this figure, I think it looks fantastic. Look at that. He has a 5 o'clock shadow going on. Oh man, this is a good figure right here. Look at that. Look at that pose. Maybe get a fist going. Oh, that is cool, man. That is awesome. And the head pops off, and so does the scarf. Let's try it without the scarf. It's going to look goofy, I know, but we'll try it. Actually, not too bad because the coat collar hides the long neck. Now, straight on, you can see the neck. It's not terrible for long, but, you know, the scarf really gives that flyboy look. So let's go ahead and change out the face. I haven't really looked. I know there's directions. I think it just pulls down. Let me check the directions real quick. Okay, so as you can see, the directions show the head pulls down. And I cannot get it out. It's loose, but I don't want to use this face sculpt. I'm just going to show it to you guys. That's that face sculpt right there. And I'm not going to use it, so I'm just not going to mess with this. So I'm going to leave this head sculpt on for now because it's really difficult. I don't want to damage the paint on this head sculpt. So let me get this guy in a cool pose. Okay, here's a simple pose I did. Took me like 30 seconds. It's of note that he only has, he can only hold the staff with his left hand. There's no right hand staff holding hand, which bums me out, but it's not a huge deal. But to get the staff on, the tip, this comes off. Let me just go ahead and do it. This end pulls off, as you can see right here, and then you slide the hand down the shaft of the weapon. But yeah, look how cool. he has some very epic poses you can do with this guy. I was hoping to do a two-handed pose over the head with him jumping, but because he only can hold the staff with his left hand, it's not really going to work. But still, I think having him on your shelf and just standing like this. Let me see if I can get this up. There's two staff holding hands. This one's designed to hold it at an angle. This other fist is designed to hold it up and down. So I really need the other fist to do this up and down pose. But as you can see, if we kind of just give him a little bit of attitude here. Yeah, check that out. Fix my camera a bit. That is super cool. Man, he looks fantastic. Let's try another pose. Okay, real quick. So this is designed, and it's kind of difficult, but there's a peg hole in his pocket to make his hands in his pocket. And it's tough to get that in there, and I'm afraid I'm going to break the peg on the wrist. So I'm not going to mess with it, but I just wanted to show you guys what it kind of looks like. I don't have it in all the way. I'm afraid to go further. But with your own personal copy, just be careful, but you might be able to get his hand in his pocket. So that's a cool little feature they gave. Flyboy look, love it. Okay, so this is kind of a pose they have in the back of the box where he's kind of got his hand in his hip and he's just kind of holding the spear over his shoulder like this. They've kind of got it like this though, where he's looking. It's not easy to do. But he looks kind of like that, and he has his spear over his hand, over his shoulder like that. So, yeah, kind of a cool, really cool looking figure. I never was a huge Sid fan in this game for some reason, but seeing this figure in my hands, man, what a cool cat. What a cool cat. Let's go ahead and get him up next to the rest of the team now. All right, and here is the whole team of FF7 Bring Arts figures that I have collected to this point. I got Sid on the end here, and man, seeing these animated looks together in one big shot like this is super cool. I think Sid fits in great, and in fact, I think Sid is one of my favorite ones out of this. I will say the only difficult thing with him is putting his hands on. Be very careful putting his hands on those pegs. The pegs are thin, and the hands are very tight to go on. But I will talk now about Bring Arts pricing and if I think these figures are worth it. Because the last few videos I've reviewed Red and Yuffie and now Sid. Is this figure worth it? Well, I'll tell you right now, if you want to get this figure, at BBTS, Big Bad Toy Store, he's ready for pre-order right now as the recording of this video, early March, April. And on BBTS, he's $134.99. That's beyond ridiculous. At Square Enix North, he is $120.99, which I could have sworn he was that price in BBTS. So I'm wondering if BBTS raised their prices already because of what's going on in the world. I don't know. But I got him from Plaza Japan with Yuffie. I got them sent together. That's why my Yuffie showed up late, because they waited to ship until they were both ready. He just came out. I got him for $86.71 US dollars, plus 30 shipping for both of them. So you figure add 15 bucks shipping for him. We're talking about $100 versus 120 at Square or 134 at BBTS. For those prices, these are absolutely not worth it, in my opinion, unless you're a massive FF7 fan and you just got to have them all, which is kind of where I'm at. They have the Turks up for pre-order. I haven't pre-ordered a single one of those. It's just too much. These figures are overpriced already, in my opinion. And to add another 5-6 more figures, it's bonkers, in my opinion. I would love to have Sung. Maybe I'll get Sung. I don't know. I'd love to have Zack, but until I confirm that Zack's leg isn't a remake of this Cloud that has a horrible left leg that always falls off, I'm holding off on Zack. Because up until the last 3 figures, QC has been a big issue with these figures. These and Play Arts Kai figures, FF7 figures. Cloud's QC issues, Aerith, Sephiroth. While I love how they look and I'm glad I have them, I can't recommend them, 1, because of the price, and 2, because of the QC issues, at least in the past. So far, Yuffie, Red, and Sid, the QC issues seem to have be a lot better. There's less issues, better QC, better quality control. So I'm happy to say that for Bring Arts. Again, with that said, unless you're a massive fan, the pricing on these, it's just not worth it. Unless you can find a deal or buy from like Japan, like I'm doing right now from Plaza Japan for these guys, I would wait for a deal. So anyway, that's my take. Everyone has their own thoughts, and that's fine. That's just my take. So let me know what you guys think about this figure, about all these figures, about the pricing with Bring Arts, about the QC. Have you seen it improve as well? Do you have Yuffie, Red, and Sid? Has your QC issues improved compared to these figures here? Because mine have. I'm curious to know about you guys, though. So give me a like, comment, subscribe. I love talking about this stuff. And until next time, this has been Sid Highwind from Final Fantasy VII by Bring Arts. Thanks for watching.